In the vast, windswept expanses of the desert, survival is a daily battle. Life in such an unforgiving environment demands not only strength, but also stealth, adaptability, and an intimate connection with the terrain. Among the many mysterious and fascinating creatures of the desert, two stand out for their stark contrast and fierce efficiency: the sand cat and the desert snake. These two animals are masters of the arid lands, each adapted in unique ways to thrive where few others can. Though vastly different in appearance and behavior, these two predators may find themselves in a tense encounter, especially when territory, food, or sheer bad luck brings them face to face. This script explores the biology, behavior, tactics, and survival skills of the sand cat and the desert snake, analyzing their strengths and weaknesses before envisioning what happens when these two formidable desert dwellers meet in a fight for dominance. The desert, an arena of extremes. Before diving into the combatants themselves, it's crucial to understand the arena they inhabit. The desert is a land of extremes, scorching hot by day, chillingly cold by night. Resources are scarce, water is minimal, and shelter is limited. Survival here means making the most of every opportunity and conserving every ounce of energy. Creatures of the desert must be highly specialized. Camouflage, nocturnality, heat resistance, and minimal dependence on water are common evolutionary traits. The environment is not just a backdrop, it plays an active role in shaping every aspect of an animal's life, especially when it comes to confrontations between predator and prey, or in rare cases, predator and predator. The sand cat, silent stalker of the dunes. The sand cat Felis margarita is one of the most elusive and mysterious members of the feline family. Found in deserts across North Africa, the Middle East, and Central Asia, it has evolved to become a near-perfect desert hunter. Its small size, averaging between 4 to 8 pounds, might not seem threatening, but it hides a hunter with precision and grit. Adapted for stealth, the sand cat has thick fur that covers even its footpads, allowing it to move silently across the hot sand without leaving visible tracks. Its fur coloration is sandy to grayish, blending effortlessly with its environment. But beyond appearance, its true weapons are its keen senses and lightning reflexes. With large ears set low and wide apart, the sand cat can detect the faintest movements underground. These ears help it locate burrowing prey, such as rodents and reptiles, with pinpoint accuracy. When it hunts, it often pounces with such force that it surprises even agile prey like lizards and jerboas. Sand cats are nocturnal, avoiding the harsh desert sun by hunting under the cover of night. They are solitary and highly territorial, patrolling large ranges and marking their boundaries with scent. They rely on surprise and precision rather than brute strength, and this preference for stealth might make them cautious combatants in a direct confrontation. The desert snake, venomous master of ambush. On the other side of the battlefield slithers a very different kind of hunter, the desert snake. While there are many species of snakes adapted to desert life, for the sake of this comparison, we'll focus on one of the most efficient and potentially dangerous, the horned viper, Cerastes cerastes. This snake, with its distinctive horn-like scales above the eyes, is a symbol of cunning and lethality. The horned viper is not large, typically measuring about 30 to 60 centimeters in length, but it is stocky and powerful for its size. Its movement across sand is hypnotic. It uses a method known as sidewinding, where it propels itself diagonally across the surface, minimizing contact with the scorching sand. What truly sets this snake apart, though, is its venom. Horned vipers are ambush predators. They bury themselves beneath the sand, leaving only their eyes and horns exposed, waiting motionless for unsuspecting prey to come within striking range. When they do strike, it's with blinding speed, and their venom begins to work almost instantly, immobilizing the victim and starting the digestion process even before the snake begins to consume. Unlike the sand cat, the horned viper is not interested in chasing prey. It lets the desert come to it. Its patience and stealth, combined with its potent venom, make it a formidable threat, even to larger predators who might be tempted to attack it. Comparison of skills and attributes. To understand the outcome of a potential confrontation between the sand cat and the desert snake, we need to examine their strengths and vulnerabilities. The sand cat has the advantage of mobility, intelligence, and keen reflexes. It's faster, more agile, and capable of delivering a killing bite. Its fur helps insulate it against heat and silence its movement. But it's not immune to venom. One bite from a horned viper could spell death in minutes if it doesn't get help, and in the wild, help doesn't come. The horned viper, on the other hand, has the advantage of surprise and lethality. A single well-placed strike is often enough to end a fight. But it has weaknesses, too. It's slow-moving, heavily reliant on ambush, and lacks the physical defenses to withstand prolonged combat. If its surprise attack fails, it becomes vulnerable. Territory and first contact. Encounters between these two are rare, not because they don't share the same space, but because of their nocturnal habits and differing hunting strategies. However, overlap can happen. A sand cat, stalking the dunes in search of food, might stumble upon a resting or camouflaged snake. Alternatively, it may detect movement beneath the sand and attempt to investigate. The first moment of contact is crucial. If the sand cat identifies the snake as prey, it may attempt to pounce. But if the snake detects the cat's presence first, it could prepare an ambush. The outcome of their encounter often hinges on who sees, or hears, whom first. The encounter. Scenario 1, the cat attacks first. In this scenario, the sand cat, perhaps alerted by the faint movement or scent of the snake, approaches carefully. With its acute hearing and cautious gait, it circles the snake's position. The viper remains hidden, waiting. But the sand cat, experienced and curious, doesn't rush. It prods the sand, tests reactions, and perhaps even bluffs a few mock strikes. Eventually, the sand cat may deliver a rapid pounce, aiming to grab the snake behind the head, a tactic many wild cats use to neutralize venomous prey. If the strike is precise, the cat wins. It disables the viper quickly and walks away with a dangerous but manageable meal. However, if it miscalculates, the snake may strike back. Even a minor bite could inject enough venom to begin weakening the cat. In such a case, the sand cat would likely retreat, but the venom would take its toll, potentially fatally depending on the dose and location of the bite. The encounter. Scenario 2, the snake strikes first. In this variation, the sand cat gets too close without noticing the viper. Perhaps the sand shifts slightly beneath its feet, and before it can react, the horned viper explodes from its position and lands a venomous bite on the cat's leg or chest. The sand cat leaps back, shocked and in pain. It may hiss, swipe, or even attempt to kill the snake, but the venom is already working. The snake, meanwhile, likely retreats into the sand, letting its biochemical weapon do the work. Minutes pass. The sand cat's movement slows. It grows weak. Without immediate help or a miracle of resistance, the venom takes its life. The snake returns later to find the still body, and the circle of desert survival continues. Adaptation, the key to survival. Both animals are masters of their craft. The sand cat's adaptations allow it to survive and hunt efficiently in one of the harshest climates on Earth. Its tactics depend on speed, surprise, and skill. It hunts with eyes and ears wide open, always aware of danger. It doesn't take unnecessary risks. The horned viper, on the other hand, is the definition of minimalism. It uses stillness, camouflage, and its venom to dominate its part of the desert food chain. It doesn't chase. It doesn't fight unless it must. But when it does, it strikes with surgical precision. In many ways, their conflict is a metaphor for two strategies in life: proactive versus reactive, speed versus patience, agility versus lethality. Who would win? If forced to declare a winner, the answer is, it depends. In nature, battles are rarely fair, and luck often plays as much a role as skill. If the sand cat spots the snake first and acts decisively, it has the advantage. Cats have been known to kill venomous snakes, using their reflexes and intelligence. But the risk is immense. One slip, one missed step, and the cost is death. If the desert snake lands the first strike, the fight is essentially over. Venom levels the playing field, rendering even faster or stronger animals helpless. A single bite in the right spot can bring down predators much larger than the sand cat. In a neutral setting, the battle is a coin toss. But in the wild, where each animal fights on its own terms, each is the king of its own niche. The sand cat doesn't seek out snakes often, and the snake doesn't hunt cats. Their clashes are rare, dramatic, and usually brief. Conclusion: Legends of the Dunes. The desert does not favor the brave or the bold, it favors the prepared. In this world of relentless heat and endless sand, the sand cat and the